Defense in the NBA is bad. And not just bad, it's really bad. But I don't think it's been the players' fault this whole time. And yes, I do know that on-ball defense is different. You're not allowed to hand check. You can't play as physical. You also have, like, for the offensive player, they can do more with the ball. And, they're also foul baiting now and moving screens. I know there's a lot more offensive player can do than a defensive player can do. But I think the reason why defense has been this bad is because of the coaching, not the players. So there are 3 games that I want to look at. It's going to be the Embiid 70. It's going to be the Luka 73. And then I'm going to throw in the Booker 62. So let's jump into those.
Still in the game now. This game is going to fire another three-pointer. Got it! Devin Booker.
So the first game we're going to look at is Embiid dropping 70. And regardless of what players say, is you never really know if a guy's going to have a big night. The only thing that you can do is follow the game plan, and then throughout the course of the game, if he gets things going, then you understand, okay, potentially he's finna have a big night. So in the first couple buckets from Embiid, I understand, okay, we're just going to play the game plan. But after we look in the first quarter and he's dropping buckets, now we have to adjust. So by the second quarter, we should be looking like, okay, how do we adjust these things? So in the second quarter, we need to be applying help. And what I see a lot that happens in basketball, coaches, they don't help like how they used to. They will just allow a guy to obviously drop 70 points. So the first thing that we have to do as coaches, I would say, is let's go back into actual providing help for the player that's guarding the guy that's going off. We can do that first. So right now we're looking at a 1-5 pick and roll at the top. And as the 1 comes off the pick, we can freeze it here. Sohan is doing the right thing. He's stepping over to cover the roll guy. The problem is that this corner guy isn't guarding 2. So then this leaves this pass wide open, and then an easy lob down there to Embiid. Here's another play, and I ask, as we freeze it right here, what more do you need to see as a coach? He has 50 already. What more do you need to see? Send the double and let this guy guard 2 and to get the ball out of his hands. There's nothing that the Spurs did defensively to stop Embiid from having a good night. Once a guy gets to 40 and even 50 points, I think that's time to start sending a double, sending a help. I mean, I know at times they did try to double to him, but that was earlier in the game. Right now, he's at like 50 and 60 points. There's just no level of resistance. You just letting him play free, and there's no reason why he wouldn't get 70. Now, this right here is just nasty defense. Like, the Atlanta Hawks did nothing to stop Luka. And one thing about a good player already, when you let him get a lot of good, easy looks like this, especially close to the basket, with no physicality, no level of resistance, you got to understand that opens up the entire game for a player like Luka. Now, he's feeling it already. Now these step back trades, I don't even see you no more. Coming off this pick, this little brush screen, I don't see you guys. Now he's playing free because he's just getting anything that he wants. Now all these jump shots and everything he's getting is either a layup or a 3 off a wide open action. And then Atlanta they're not even helping. Like, what more should a player do? Like, look at this. This is nasty work. Atlanta's problem in this game is that they switched everything. So you have this ghost screen at the top, which is a switch, into an actual screen, which is the matchup that Luka actually wants. And because you don't have any help, Luka gets another free layup. And the Atlanta Hawks did stuff like that the entire game, which then just allows a guy like Luka to just make these incredible shots but he's built it off of rhythm and wide open layups. Devin Booker's 62 wasn't no different. When you let a guy get easy buckets to start the game out, especially guys that are capable of dropping big numbers on you, when you give these guys open looks, it's just the door is wide open at this point. This possession was funny to me because Devin Booker knows he's hot early. So all he wants is the right matchup. So the first screen comes, it's a switch. The second one, it's not a switch. But KD sets this go screen and it's miscommunication on that. And now Devin Booker is wide open for another three. Hey, yo, my bad. I had to put this play in here because this was so tough to me. All right, we're going to look at this defensive possession right here because this one could have worked. Now, as Devin Booker comes off these screens, we'll freeze it right here. Devin Booker is trying to put his defender in jail. Now, what's supposed to happen is this defender right here, he's supposed to help and allow the guy guarding Devin Booker to get back in front. That way it can blow up this entire play. Now, yes, this roll guy could be open, but remember, the purpose of this video is to stop the guy that's going off. Now, by providing this help, allows this guy to come over to blow up this play. But instead, they do no help, and Devin Booker gets another easy fade. My question is how many buckets do we need to see go win in the first quarter before we start doing some help? Let's freeze it right here. You have two options here. You can help from the top, make him force to this corner on this shooter right here. Or you can help from this guy and let him play too and take your chances. But the guy has as much as your team has already. This is just simple drop coverage, aka I'm not helping, and Devin Booker gets another wide open three. This play blew my mind when I seen it. Watch what happens here. Watch this. Freeze it right here. Now you help, and you helping off the guy that got 100 points. What? I don't understand the logic of some of these teams. And now it don't matter because we in full-blown cook now. I got it. I got it going. Clear out. It's my night. I'm cooking all y'all because y'all can't stop me. All right, so I wanted to see how the Celtics play defense. And the Celtics were IT because they were a smaller team. And, of course, they had IT, which everybody tried to target. But I wanted to see how they play defense. And they're doing exactly what I'm saying. So, IT gets targeted. Now, let's freeze it right here. As you can see, this is proper help. They blow this play up, the three of them. That makes Kyrie go back. Now, what do? They do a rescreen. And once again, there's no switching. IT stays connected. Crowder stays in help. But as you can see on the back end, Sullinger comes over to guard the roll man. And then you have the other side guarding the big. It's proper help. Here goes a reversal ball screen. We stay connected. There's no switching. Just a lot of help. Notice how IT comes down to bump the big, to tag the big. And then he gets the closeout on the corner tray. Good help defense. This play actually surprised me because they're about to set a back screen for IT. And they still don't switch. They just provide a lot of help. Now, one thing that you should see is you'll see Sullinger pick up on this quick. He starts to shade early. But then you also see Avery Bradley take the big, which only leads one pass, and he still jumped it for the steal. Another thing they would do is if there was a pop player, they would keep IT high above the elbow, almost like it is a switch, just so they can keep IT out of the paint because they were so good at rotating and covering up the weaknesses. Here goes another example of the Celtics no switching and help defense principles. So the Warriors run this twist for Clay into a zoom for Steph. Still no switching, but here goes the help. 2 players help here, and then allow the kick out to happen. But notice how they rotate, and when this ball gets swung back to Steph, look at the effort to get back to the body from IT, which then forces Steph into taking a difficult shot at the end of the clock. Long story short, is defense bad? Of course, but it's not always the player's fault. We got to start looking at these coaches before we start asking the players to do the impossible, which is guarding these guys individually. This has been Drew. We talk 94 feet, and I'm out of here.